From six-figure supercars to seven-figure shopping sprees, this is how NBA players spend their millions, and Karl Anthony Towns bought something nobody in the world allowed. His commitment to video games is scary, so we spent crazy money to make sure nobody could compete, and he combined the games he slays with this sporty place to create something one of them.
Get out.
What the hell? A basketball-themed supercomputer is. His PC literally got nicknamed after him, the Wildcat. It's customized with liquid coolant lights, and it lights up every color, and a graphics card that isn't even out yet, just so we could play 2K and AK.
Oh my god.
Oh my god, but that's still not as crazy as the price tag, $20K, and that's literally the cheapest thing in this video. So let's level up to Giannis Antetokounmpo because he spent 5 times as much because of his need for speed. Yeah, Giannis became a star and coped his dreams, a dream car, which is a BMW i8, and with the butterfly doors, no wonder why Giannis posts himself flexing with his whip. This thing cost $100K, but sometimes a tragedy costs more than money, like it did for Klay Thompson. He was in the NBA Finals playing for a championship when all of a sudden
Thompson running the floor and a foul. And Thompson grabs his left knee, now writhing in pain.
He suffered one of the scariest injuries in basketball, a torn ACL. Klay was helped off the court, forced into surgery and rehab, but felt there was a chance he'd never play basketball again. So we just had to buy something to escape this nightmare.
This vote a part of your therapy when you were going through your darkest moment?
Oh yeah, no question.
Before the part of our therapy. Oh yeah, no question, Klay's boat is an Axle Part 37, luxury speedboat, and because it has two 350 horsepower engines, this thing catches waves 60 miles an hour, but I don't know who loves being out on the water more, Klay or his dog. This boat cost Klay $300,000, but what it did for his mental health was priceless. It's crazy how Anthony Davis spent double just so he wasn't iceless. When rumors started flying around that Ad wanted to be traded, everybody thought he was trying to go Hollywood. But in reality, he was just trying to go to Icebox diamond earrings and a Cuban link chain they were just the beginning of the AD shopping spree, because once he started eyeing and trying on watches, it was clear that AED was on a different type of time. When he caught one of the rarest watches in the world, a rainbow Rolex Daytona, this thing covered in diamonds, rubies, sapphires, and emeralds. So whenever he's forced to sit out of games because of an injury, he sits courtside repping his jewelry because it cost $500,000. But spending Rex on ice is nothing compared to spending money saving lives like LeBron James. When he started a foundation named after himself, LeBron made it to his life's mission to spread happiness all over his state of Ohio, and more importantly, change kids' lives forever. And step 1 was LeBron treating over 5,000 families to a day they would never forget at one of the world's craziest amusement parks, Cedar Point.
Well, these kids are everything. You know, they're our future, and to allow us to be in your kids' lives and be able to try to make a difference, it means so much to us.
From carnival games to haunted houses, LeBron even spent time on some of the craziest roller coasters in the entire world. Kids everywhere were having the most fun they ever had, all because of LeBron, and after all he'd done for the families, Cedar Point even offered to name a roller coaster after it. Just another accomplishment, LeBron, that I'm sure will be overlooked because of his haters, but at the end of the day, with each ticket costing $50 and 3 people per family, LeBron dropped $750,000 all for the kids.
I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever been a part of.
James spent a whole lot of cash, but another James paid for a whole lot of ass. I think it's probably one of the best things I've ever been a part of. And James spent a whole lot of cash, but another James paid for a whole lot of ass. Yeah, lately Harden's been hanging out with rappers a little. They influenced them to stop aiming for dubs to turn up the clubs, and now this man can't even do a single interview without being distracted.
You're in the club, Kevin's in the club. How cool is it after all he's been through to see LaMarcus Aldridge score 20,000?
Harden's constantly seen partying sometimes. He's even drunk out in public. Well, one night he spent so much money and made him a legend. James Harden's jersey is hanging in the rafters in a Houston strip club because he spent so much money in this strip club that they put his jersey up in the rafters. Yeah, I just hope Duke got head for spending crazy regret because it turned out Harden spent $1 million in a single night, but at least he didn't spend millions just to troll the world like Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant decided to troll everybody when he was caught in 4K as he walked out a restaurant and stepped up to a $1.4 million Pagani. But this wasn't even his car, he just used it as an opportunity to troll the degenerate filming him. See, our boy KD was captain because not only could he afford the car, he's got an even more expensive one. This is a Ford GT. It's got 500 horsepower, goes 0 to 60 faster in KD ops on Twitter. It costs over 2.5 mil, but hold up, where is he pulling up in a car that expensive? Oh yeah, Devin Booker's crib.
Welcome to the desert. I'm Devin Booker. Come check out the house.
Off the rip is Book's living that has a table for games, a bar filled with all his favorite drinks, and he's even got a wine cellar. So I know he stays getting lit, but that's just what he puts in his mouth. How about he put on his feet in six-figure shoe, closet, Nikes, Jordans, Converse, books, and even got some antiques.
If you can see these ones up top, the white and blue ones, these are some 1985 custom Jordan ones.
Wait a minute, she was from 1985. I wonder why it smells like ass in here. Moving on, every single room in this crib is some Booker design himself. That's why his walls have art that looks like it came from space. He's got a Rolex clock so we can time along. He's lasting. But on the outside, he's got insane views of the mountains and a pool with fire pits outside of this game, house, movie, and theater, music, studio. Yeah, in here, dude's got it all.
I don't know if you can tell, I get repping my college with the Big Blue Nation, Kentucky pool balls.
I know you would like to dig balls, the price tag $3.5 million, and I didn't even count in books. Garage filled with classic cars, but speaking of these books, we got something expensive to get to now. With Book pulling up 2 NBA Finals, he was just hoping this game would lead to the most expensive championship celebration in history, like the Warriors had when they beat the Cavaliers in the NBA Finals. It wasn't only their second championship in 3 years, they dethroned a king, so after the trophy presentation, the Warriors ran to the locker room, the party like there was no tomorrow, and how expensive the celebration was, set a world record, and came the champagne showers with over 300 bottles of Moet. It cost over 400 boys were really turning up, but whatever they were spraying it everywhere or drinking, the liquor bill was still almost $1 million, and yet that was the only pre-game. The very next day, the Warriors treated the entire city to the celebration of a lifetime with confetti and decorations flying everywhere. Fully customized party buses and over 1 million crazy fans. Everybody was lit, but having all of that shutting the entire block down and meeting police and cleanup crews ain't cheap. The entire celebration became the most expensive championship parade in NBA history. So the Warriors became nuts. And the Warriors themselves paid the $4 million because if they didn't, they would have been forced to flee the country on Dwayne's purchase. This is a Challenger 300, aka Wade's private jet. And on the inside, not only does it have Wade to custom white leather seats, it's perfect place to practice rapping on bees, but as much as Wade loves his jet, it's actually one of the biggest regrets.
When you play sports, it's like a rite of passage that you have to play cards on a plane. And I've lost a lot of money on the plane just trying to play with my teammates. It's been times where I wanted out. Like my finance advisor called me and said, hey, is this something we need to talk about? Do you have a problem?
Dan Wade must have been losing hella money if his advisor called him about, instead of the fact that dude literally bought a plane for $13 million. That much just to fly and land, but at least he wasn't forced to spend millions because he got banned.